Have you ever wondered why you feel the way you do, why certain patterns repeat in your life, or why you react to things so differently than others? What if the answer has been written in the very month you were born? This video isn't just about astrology or personality types. It's about unlocking the unique blueprint you were born with, the energy you carry, and the life lessons your birth month silently holds. Whether you were born in January with the drive of a leader, in July with the heart of a nurturer, or in November with the soul of a seeker, this video will help you finally understand why you are the way you are. As you watch, you'll discover hidden truths about yourself, your gifts, your greatest challenges, and the inner wisdom you may have overlooked for years. This isn't just reflection, it's transformation. You'll learn how to stop repeating cycles, how to align your life with your true essence, and how to step into the most empowered version of yourself. Stay until the end, because we'll not only reveal the core energy of each birth month, but we'll also show you how to apply that energy to create deeper relationships, clearer decisions, and more purposeful life. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Since the earliest whispers of civilization, long before we had scientific instruments or written records, human beings instinctively understood that birth, the very moment a soul enters this world, is not random. It's not a coincidence. It's a sacred alignment, a divine orchestration of invisible forces coming together in perfect harmony to give shape to a new existence. Our ancestors didn't take that moment lightly. They looked to the skies, to the stars, to the rhythm of the earth itself, and they believe deeply that the moment you are born says something profound about who you are meant to be. From the brilliant minds of Babylon to the spiritually infused rituals of ancient Egypt, these cultures saw the cosmos as a vast, intelligent system, a kind of universal symphony, where every star and planet played a note in the music of human destiny. They read time like sacred scripture, deciphering patterns that modern minds often overlook. And honestly, part of me believes they were onto something we've forgotten in our fast-paced, logical world. There was a wisdom back then, a soulful understanding that time wasn't just something to measure, it was something to feel. Even in more recent history, some of the greatest thinkers refused to dismiss this cosmic connection. One of them was Carl Jung, a brilliant psychologist, and a soul deeply attuned to the mysteries of the universe. Jung didn't just analyze the mind, he explored the invisible threads that connect us to something greater than ourselves. He believed our birth month wasn't a bureaucratic detail. It was a symbol, a clue, a sacred imprint carrying the essence of our identity. To him, we are all swimming in a vast ocean called the collective unconscious, a realm where ancient archetypes, spiritual truths, and the wisdom of humanity itself reside. According to Jung's powerful vision, we are born when certain archetypal energies are at their strongest. And those energies don't just brush against us, they shape us. They leave fingerprints on our souls. They influence the things we long for, the gifts we carry, and even the wounds we'll be asked to heal. That's not superstition. That's depth psychology. And in my journey, I've found that when we listen to these patterns, something inside us wakes up, something ancient, something true. These energies are not just inside of us. They echo in the world around us, in the blooming of the trees, in the fading of daylight, in the quiet hush of winter and the electric charge of spring. We are not separate from nature, we are nature. We belong to the same rhythms, the same cycles. And our birth month carries within it a unique vibration, one that subtly but powerfully shapes how we walk through life. This idea isn't about magic tricks or fortune-telling, it's about reconnecting with the grand design of life. It's about realizing that universal patterns are always at play, quietly guiding, influencing, and nudging us in directions that feel both familiar and fated. It's about becoming aware of the story already being written within us. Ancient astrologers believed that every month held its energy, its soul print. And while modern science may scoff at this, I can't help but notice how undeniably true it feels. Haven't you felt it too? The way winter draws us inward, while spring awakens our drive to begin again. The way summer seems to amplify confidence and laughter, while autumn invites reflection and release. These aren't coincidences, they are mirrors. Carl Jung, with his unparalleled insight, invites us to stop and reflect. How did the environment of your birth shape you? What was the world doing when you arrived? Was it blooming or retreating? Were the days long or short? Were the winds warm or cold? These details may seem external, but they shape our internal reality in ways we're only beginning to understand. When we truly begin to explore the meaning of our birth month, not through fear or rigidity, but through curiosity and wonder, we discover something almost mystical. That the answers we've been so desperately searching for about our purpose, our patterns, our desires have been inside us all along, hidden in plain sight, whispered to us by the stars, encoded in our timing. Understanding the traits and tendencies of our birth month is not about putting ourselves in a box. It's about opening a window. It's about meeting ourselves with compassion and saying, so this is why I am the way I am. Maybe you've always felt drawn to a certain passion, or you've encountered the same emotional hurdles again and again. What if that's not a coincidence? What if that's part of your soul's assignment? Every human being carries a hidden map, and one of the keys to reading that map lies in understanding the season of your arrival. Each month has its flavor and frequency. Those born in the early months, January, February, March, often embody the spirit of beginnings, of trailblazing, of forging ahead where no one else has walked. They are initiators, leaders, and creators of momentum. Those born in the heart of the year, April through August, tend to carry a blend of fire and earth, ambition and grounding. They build, they lead, they stabilize. They are the bridge between what could be and what must be. And then there are those born in the final stretch of the year, September through December, deep, introspective souls who often feel the weight of meaning, purpose, and spiritual truth. These are the ones who ask, what does it all mean? And who often light the path for others through their quiet wisdom. When you look at your life through this lens, patterns begin to surface. You'll see how certain situations repeat, how certain strengths have always been with you, waiting for recognition. And perhaps most beautifully, you'll see that the things you thought were flaws might be your most sacred gifts, just misunderstood until now. This understanding isn't about labeling or limitation. It's about liberation. It's a tool not to confine you, but to empower you. When you live in alignment with your natural rhythm, life doesn't feel like a struggle anymore. It feels like a conversation, like you're finally speaking the same language as your soul. Exploring your birth month is like stepping through a hidden door, one that leads you deeper into yourself. And through that door is the most precious gift, the awareness that your life has always had meaning, always had direction, even when it felt lost. You are part of a greater story, a larger design. And your birth month is a clue, a golden thread that connects you to something eternal. So perhaps the real question isn't what month were you born, but are you ready to remember what your birth month came here to reveal? Now the question is, are you truly ready to discover what your birth month reveals about the soul you carry, the energy you radiate, and the path you were always meant to walk? Because once you do, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. January, the brave pioneer. January is not just the start of a new year. It is the beginning of everything. It's the moment when silence is broken by a whisper of possibility. If you were born in January, you didn't just arrive, you entered with purpose. You carry within you the sacred flame of the initiator, the one who sees what doesn't exist yet and dares to bring it into reality. There's an undeniable power in your presence. You lead with determination, you strive with conviction, and you carry the quiet resilience of someone who has weathered storms and still walks tall. People often look to you for direction, drawn by your inner strength. even when you feel like you're holding everything together by a thread. That's the burden of being born to lead. But here's the hard truth. Your courage, while admirable, can become exhausting. You often feel like the entire world is on your shoulders. As if you stop, everything will collapse. And that weight, that constant push forward, can make you forget that rest is not a weakness. True leaders know when to act, but also when to pause. Your greatest life lesson isn't about doing more. It's about trusting others to rise with you. When you surrender the need for control and allow others to step in, you discover that leadership isn't lonely, it's liberating. February, the empathic visionary. February brings a softer, quieter vibration, but don't mistake softness for weakness. If you were born in this month, you are a soul born to feel deeply, to connect with the unspoken, and to comfort without needing words. There is something sacred about your sensitivity. It's a gift in a world that often forgets how to be gentle. You are the healer, the peacemaker, the quiet strength that holds others up. People come to you with their wounds, and somehow you make them feel seen, safe, and whole again. Your creativity flows from your compassion, whether through art, music, words, or presence. You bring color to gray skies. But your heart, so open, so giving, can also become your greatest challenge. You give and give until you are empty. You light others up, yet sometimes forget to refill your flame. If you don't learn to set boundaries and to say no without guilt, you risk losing yourself in the very love you offer. You must remember this. You deserve the same care you give to others. Your energy is sacred, and protecting it isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you learn to nourish yourself with the same tenderness you pour into the world, you rise not as a martyr, but as a force of healing love, and your relationships become richer, deeper, and more sustainable. March, the spiritual dreamer. March births the visionaries, the ones who don't just live on the surface, but swim in the depths of life's mystery. If you were born in March, you've likely always felt a little different, as if you were meant to live in a world that doesn't quite exist yet. You're deeply intuitive, often picking up on thoughts, feelings, and energies others overlook. There is magic in your soul, a sense of wonder that others forget as they grow older. You see beauty in the hidden, meaning in the mundane. Your dreams are not just fantasies, they are messages, whispers from the soul of the universe, reminding you that there is so much more to this life than what we see. But with that depth comes the risk of drowning. Your ability to absorb energy means you often carry emotions that aren't even yours. You get overwhelmed easily, pulled in 100 directions by the invisible currents of those around you. And in trying to be everything to everyone, you can forget who you are. Your greatest lesson is learning to guard your energy like treasure. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates that keep your sacred space safe. And when you protect that space, your creativity soars. Whether it's painting, writing, singing, or simply dreaming, your art is your medicine. When you align your soul with your reality, you become not just a dreamer, but a guide for others, proof that the unseen is just as powerful as the visible. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. April, the passionate fire starter. April arrives with fire in its chest and lightning in its hands. If you were born in April, you were born to move, to shake, to create, and to conquer. You don't wait for life to happen, you make it happen. There's a pulsing vitality inside you that refuses to sit still. You feel everything strongly, urgently. Now, you are bold, brave, and brilliantly alive. Challenges don't scare you, they energize you. You're the type who turns a single spark of inspiration into a full-blown reality because you believe in what you do. Others admire your courage, your relentless drive, and your refusal to give up even when everything seems to be falling apart. But your fire can burn you too. That same intensity can lead to restlessness and impulsiveness. Sometimes your need for speed can cause you to miss the details, to leap without looking, to chase without thinking. And when things don't go as planned, frustration can turn into burnout. Life will keep reminding you that strength isn't always about forward motion sometimes. It's in the stillness. Your power becomes unstoppable when you learn to pause, to listen, to trust your intuition before charging ahead. When you balance passion with patience, your actions don't just create movement, they build legacy. May, the steady soul builder. May is the month of harmony, of depth, of grounded purpose. If you were born in May, you likely have a heart that seeks both peace and meaning. You're a builder, not just of homes or careers, but of foundations. Emotional, spiritual, practical. You need your life to feel stable, structured, and full of intention. You have a unique gift, the ability to find beauty in simplicity and wisdom in consistency. You create comfort for those around you, and people feel safe in your presence. You are not easily swayed. You take your time, think things through, and act with quiet confidence. To you, loyalty, trust, and dependability are not just values, they're truths. But sometimes, the need for certainty becomes your prison. You fear chaos. You cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves you. The idea of change makes your heart race, and letting go can feel like losing control. But the truth is, true stability isn't about staying the same. It's about knowing you can rebuild. When you allow life to evolve, you evolve with it. Transformation becomes less terrifying and more empowering. You learn that you are not your comfort zone, you are your courage. And with that realization, you begin to build not just a secure life, but a meaningful one, rooted in trust, growth, and deep self-awareness. June, the restless explorer. June is the month of life's wanderers, the seekers, the questioners, the curious hearts who can't help but ask, what else is out there? If you were born in June, you were gifted with an incredible appetite for discovery. Your mind is sharp and open, like a sail ready to catch every wind. There's a spark in your soul that refuses to settle, a light that is constantly reaching for the new, the unknown, the unexplored. You're the kind of person who sees beauty in diversity, who finds magic in different perspectives, who thrives when life is in motion. You don't just walk through the world, you absorb it. Every experience, every conversation, every lesson becomes part of your inner tapestry. And that makes you endlessly fascinating, endlessly vibrant. But here's the challenge. When you're drawn to everything, it's easy to feel pulled in too many directions. You start a dozen paths, but finishing even one can feel like a struggle. You may begin to doubt yourself, wondering why it's so hard to stick to something. But the truth is, your spirit isn't broken, it's brilliant. You just need to ground that brilliance. Life's wisdom is gently guiding you to marry your curiosity with clarity, to listen deeply to what truly calls your soul, not what excites you at the moment, but what ignites something lasting within you. When your boundless energy is paired with purposeful focus, you don't lose your freedom, you unlock your greatness. You become a living embodiment of adventure, not just outwardly, but in the most profound journey of all, the journey within July, the gentle protector. July brings into the world hearts that beat with love first. If you were born in this month, you are one of life's emotional anchors, the kind of person people instinctively turn to in times of storm. You radiate warmth, like the comforting glow of a candle in the window, a quiet signal that says, you are safe here. Your compassion knows no bounds. You feel things deeply, your own emotions, and those of others. You are intuitive, nurturing, and remarkably sensitive to the needs of the people you love. You're not just supportive, you become a sanctuary. You offer a tenderness the world often forgets it needs. But your beautiful heart carries its burden, because in your drive to be everything for everyone, you often leave yourself behind. You give until you're empty. You show up for everyone else, even when no one shows up for you. And the truth is, your soul needs tending too. Your most important life lesson is learning that you are not a resource to be used. You are a soul to be loved. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're closing doors. It means you're protecting your sacred space. And when you begin to honor your own emotional needs with the same reverence you offer others, your love becomes even more powerful. It becomes rooted, resilient, and real. You stop pouring from an empty cup, and instead you become a wellspring of healing and authenticity. August, the radiant flame. August doesn't enter the world quietly, it shines. If you were born in this month, there's a natural magnetism to you. You don't just walk into a room, you light it up. Confidence is your second skin, and leadership feels like a natural rhythm in your life. You're driven by purpose, energized by vision, and fearless when it comes to taking the stage. Life sets for you. You were born to stand out. Your presence uplifts others. Your enthusiasm ignites ideas, and your charisma can turn doubt into belief. People look to you for inspiration, and often, without realizing it, you give them permission to dream bigger, love louder, and live fuller. But even the brightest stars can struggle in the dark. Your challenge lies in the delicate balance between shining and performing. When your worth starts depending on applause, on recognition, on approval, it can leave you hollow, questioning whether you're still valuable when the lights dim. That's a painful place to be. Here's your truth. Your worth is not in how many people see you. It's in how you see yourself. Your power doesn't come from being celebrated. It comes from knowing who you are when no one's watching. When you find your confidence within, you no longer need a spotlight. You are the light. And when your leadership flows from self-love, not ego, you don't just inspire others to follow you, awaken them to discover the leader within themselves. September, the soulful perfectionist. September is the month of mindful creators, the ones who see the details others miss, and who strive to make life better, cleaner, and more beautiful through effort and care. If you were born in September, you likely hold yourself to high standards, not out of pride, but out of a deep inner call to do things right. You're thoughtful, analytical, and deliberate. You want things to be meaningful, purposeful, and just so. You are the kind of person who brings order to chaos, who finds satisfaction in craftsmanship, whether in words, actions, or relationships. People trust you because they know you don't cut corners. You're deeply dependable and driven by a desire to contribute something of lasting value. But perfection, as noble as it seems, can quietly steal your joy. Your sharp inner critic whispers that nothing is ever good enough. Not your work, your body, your life, or sometimes even yourself. And that voice can be cruel. It can keep you stuck in a cycle of striving that never feels like arriving. The most sacred lesson for you is this: imperfection is not failure, it's freedom. You don't need to fix everything. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are the ones that carry a little mess, a little flaw, a little soul. When you learn to celebrate progress instead of demanding perfection, something inside you softens. You begin to enjoy the process. You breathe. You smile more. And your work becomes not just precise, it becomes alive. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. October, the harmonizer of hearts. October brings with it the quiet wisdom of balance, of twilight skies and falling leaves, of moments suspended between light and shadow. If you were born in October, your soul was woven with threads of justice, beauty, and deep emotional awareness. You are someone who cannot stand chaos. For long you long for alignment, for everything to feel right. Whether it's a relationship, a conversation, or your thoughts, you instinctively reach for harmony like a musician tuning a string until it resonates just right. You're naturally diplomatic. You sense the emotions others can't articulate. You listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. And that makes you a healer, a bridge builder, a peace seeker. But here's the truth. When you care too much about keeping the peace, you risk silencing your voice. Your gift for seeing all sides can become a curse when it paralyzes your ability to choose. Life is gently asking you to trust your intuition to act, even when things feel uncertain. The deepest harmony is not the absence of conflict, but the presence of courage. And when you choose from the heart, not because it's perfect, but because it's true, you will find a strength in yourself that no external approval can match. Remember, serenity doesn't come from avoiding decisions. It comes from owning them. November, the alchemist of truth. November is a month cloaked in mystery, just like those born within it. The air is cooler, the nights are longer, and the veil between the visible and invisible feels thinner. If you were born in November, you were born with eyes that don't just look, they see. Your soul is deep, introspective, and drawn to truths that most people never dare to uncover. You are not afraid of the dark, you explore it, because you know that's where real transformation begins. There's an emotional intensity to you that others feel even when you say nothing. You don't do small talk, you crave meaning. And while this makes you magnetic, it can also make you guarded. You've likely learned that not everyone can handle your truth, your depth, your rawness. So you hold back, hide your vulnerabilities, and carry your questions in silence. But let me tell you this, your vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a sacred offering. Your willingness to be real, even when it's messy, is your superpower. The lesson life whispers to your soul is to trust others with your truth. Not everyone, but someone, because the connection is the crucible where transformation completes its cycle. You don't have to journey through the depths alone. When you open the door, even just a little, you allow others to meet you not on the surface, but in the soul. December, the radiant dreamer. December is the month of closing chapters with hope and beginning new ones with light. If you were born in December, you arrived wrapped in the spirit of joy, expansion, and wonder. You carry within you a lightness of being a beautiful blend of optimism, generosity, and fire. There's a part of you that refuses to give up on the idea that life is magical, and that no matter how hard it gets, there is always something to believe in. You are a natural uplifter. People feel better just being around you. Your laughter, your perspective, your big picture mindset, it reminds others that storms pass and better days are always coming. You live with arms wide open, giving freely of your love, your time, your energy. But here's the shadow you must face. You give so much that you forget to receive. You give until you're empty, sometimes ignoring your own needs out of fear of seeming selfish. But generosity without boundaries isn't love, it's depletion. Your sacred lesson is this: you must fill your own too. Because when you care for yourself with as much passion as you care for others, your light doesn't flicker, it blazes. And that light, when it's rooted in self-love, becomes a beacon not just of joy, but of deep, sustainable purpose. A year of souls, the 12 lessons of the heart. Every month, every birth, every soul carries a story. And within that story lies a lesson, a sacred truth that, when embraced, brings us closer to who we were always meant to be. January taught us that leadership is strongest when balanced with rest and trust. February showed us that love is powerful when paired with self-care. March reminded us to dream boldly while learning to protect our sensitivity. April blazed through with fierce passion, but whispered the wisdom of patience. May stood steady, revealing that true security lies in letting go and evolving. June danced with curiosity, guiding us to focus our energy on what truly matters. July overflowed with love, teaching that giving begins with self-nourishment. August dazzled in the spotlight, only to discover the light within shines brightest. September refined the world with detail, but found peace in imperfection. October held space for harmony, and found strength in choosing amidst uncertainty. November searched the depths of truth and discovered healing through connection. December soared with dreams and joy, learning to give without losing itself. Each of us carries the rhythm of our birth month like a secret melody, playing softly beneath the noise of life. And when we listen, we hear not only who we are, but why we are. These aren't just months, they're soul paths, and your birth month holds the key to unlocking a part of you that's been quietly waiting to be seen. So, are you ready to embrace your month, your rhythm, your light? Because the moment you do, your life will never feel random again. It will feel sacred, because it is. October whispers to us, trust yourself. Even when life feels unclear, even when choices feel heavy, there's wisdom in your heart. Peace isn't found by avoiding decisions, but by stepping into them with courage. November pulls us inward, dive deep. Your soul carries mysteries worth exploring, truths worth uncovering. Don't be afraid of your depth. There is gold buried there. And when you share that truth with the world, healing happens. Transformation begins. December opens our arms. Give freely, yes, but don't forget to receive. True abundance is not just generosity, it's balance. You deserve the same joy, energy, and care you offer to others. And when you live in that place, you shine without burning out. But this isn't just about dates or traits. Exploring the meaning of your birth month is not about prediction. It's about permission. It's permission to see yourself more clearly, love yourself more deeply, and walk through life with intention, not confusion. This is about returning to the core of who you are. Each month offers a unique rhythm, a set of divine fingerprints that point you back to the tools, instincts, and lessons you were born with. You didn't arrive here empty-handed. You came equipped with gifts and challenges specifically chosen for your growth. And when you begin to see them for what they are, your whole life can begin to shift. So many people drift through life, feeling off track, disconnected from their purpose, from joy, from themselves. They push against their instincts, chasing paths that were never meant for them. But you have a chance to do something different. You have a chance to pause and ask, what have I been given? And how can I use it with intention? Self-knowledge is not just power, it's freedom. When you understand your innate tendencies, you stop fighting your nature and start partnering with it. What once felt like limitation begins to feel like design. What once felt like confusion becomes clarity. Have you noticed certain patterns repeating in your life? The same emotional loops? Are the same obstacles showing up in different forms? It may not be bad luck. It may be life nudging you to look inward, to finally understand a part of yourself that's been quietly guiding your decisions all along. Because when you shine a light on those patterns, you no longer live on autopilot. You begin to live on purpose. This awareness is not meant to box you in. It's meant to set you free. Understanding the energy of your birth month is not the end of the journey. It's the doorway, a starting point, a compass pointing toward authenticity. And once you have that compass, you can shape your relationships, your career, your goals, not around who you think you should be, but around who you actually are. That's where confidence comes from. That's where true joy begins. It's not about having all the answers. It's about knowing how to walk with yourself when the questions come. Yes, you will still face challenges. We all do. But now, you'll face them with clarity, with understanding, with self-respect. And that changes everything. The life you desire isn't out of reach. It's already within you, waiting to be lived, waiting to be claimed. But it starts with a simple act, choosing to know yourself not in judgment, not in fear, but in love. Let this knowledge become your guide. Let it root you deeper, lift you higher, and help you navigate life with more grace, intention, and truth. You are not here by accident. You were born for something beautiful, And the moment you honor the energy you came in with, the moment you stop apologizing for who you are, that's when you become unstoppable. So now that we've traveled through the sacred rhythm of every month, I want to ask you something. What did you discover about yourself today? Did something stir in your heart, spark a memory, or finally make sense in a way it never did before? Maybe you realize why you've always felt a certain pull, or why you keep facing the same challenges again and again. Maybe, just maybe, you finally saw that those flaws you've carried with shame are actually sacred fingerprints, parts of your divine design. I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share one thing you've learned about yourself through this journey, one truth you're ready to embrace, or one shift you'll carry into your life starting today. Let's create a space of reflection and healing together. Because when we speak our truth, we give others permission to do the same. And if this message touched your soul, if it reminded you of your worth, your purpose, or simply made you feel seen, please leave your comment below. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this message. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss the wisdom your spirit is longing to hear. You are not random. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are on your path, exactly where you're meant to be. And the moment you choose to honor your unique light, the whole universe leans in to support you. So tell me now, what did your birth month reveal to you? And more importantly, are you ready to live it? We'll be here, cheering you on every step of the way. Until next time, keep walking in your truth. And never forget, you were born for something beautiful.